up I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Promise it's all good. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. It's all good. Get paid, get paid. Blow up like I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. Promise it's all good. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm blowing up like you thought I would. It's all good. Get paid, get paid. Blow up like I'm blowing up like you thought I would. I'm like you thought I would. And if you don't know, I'm blowing up like you thought.
You know what, Anne? I actually hate your intro, and I hate it because like I'm a Pac fan rather than a Biggie fan, and
I'm glad you waited till we went live to tell me that.
And also, it just shows loads of plays where Arsenal look bloody good.
Yeah, it's memories, Gav. It's memories. Remember what good play was like, Gav?
No.
Remember? No, I don't really either. Yeah. Yeah, lads. So we're live. Yeah, the end. See you later. No European football. Oh, lads. Look, let's jump into this. We got Ryan, we got Gav, and we got Dave. Lads, I'm sorry. I apologise having to drag you on to talk about that. Look, stating the obvious, Arsenal are out. No European football for the first time in 25 years. Lackluster performance, to say the least. Ryan, stupid question, but how are you feeling right now? That's to you, Ryan. Maybe you can hear me.
No, he answered it.
No, that was it.
He's answered it.
That's his answer.
For anybody who's listening audio only, Ryan is waving his hands around.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear me? Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, look, the reason why I put my way like this is because I've said it all season, we're too inconsistent. I didn't see us getting to that final. And, I'm quite numb, to be honest. Oh, God. Oh, my head? I'm quite numb.
Yeah,
to be honest, I just don't know. I just didn't feel like. Am I losing? Have I lost you guys?
No, we're just sitting here listening.
Yeah, I think
it all in, bro.
I think your camera is slightly freezing.
Oh,
your sound is fine.
Guys,
yeah, your sound is fine though. Your sound is all good.
You're in my house.
Okay, all right. So,
that shit happens here all the time. Don't live in the village.
Honest to God, I'll make this short and sweet. Listen, I had no faith in this team whatsoever. You guys can call me negative or whatever. I don't mind. But they have shown me absolutely nothing. From that transfer window in the summer, where you're getting Willian, Gabriel, and Partey, and we needed more, that didn't say much for me. Okay, well, are we going to go? You think this team is good enough to challenge for the Europa League and try to get into the top four? No. And the way the season's been going, especially the first leg said everything to me. You're playing Smith Rowe in a false nine, no striker, and let's face it, you fucked it up. Do you know what I'm saying? And then today it just was dull. They looked lackluster. We didn't start off quick, and you know what, guys? I said this to my mate years ago. I said there will be a time where we won't get European football because the way we've been so passive over the years, and we've never really tried to charge for the league title, the Champions League when we were in there, or anything after the final we were in 06. I mean, Jesus, that was a lifetime ago now. So listen, you know my thoughts on the manager already. I want him out. But to be honest with you, you have to look at the owners. Look, our former manager is celebrating on our pitch when they had the flag out, they had the banners out, dancing around. Unai Emery, redemption for him. It was redemption for him because Arsenal didn't back him the way he should have been backed. Simple as that. And guess what? It just shows you the incompetence of KSC. Forget Arteta and Edu and that. They came in here as novices. They only tried to do what they thought was best, and it's simply not good enough. You know, yeah, they got rid of Urs on them. Like, all right, cool, great, well done. But when it came down to the pitch, I mean, Arteta put himself in this position because it was open to him. They so many experienced managers, and they just said, "No, we're going to go for Arteta." We wanted him after Wenger, anyways. But he said no to us, so we'll wait. We get desperate, get smacked 3-0 by Man City in another 15 minutes. Then next thing you know, we're at his house hours after the game. What? So it was all going to come round full circle. And, you know, like Mike Craig said in the chat, Arsenal are jokes, painful to watch. Mate, it's been painful to watch for the last 15 years. 15 years.
I don't actually blame KSC's situation. I want Kroenke out. I don't think there's an Arsenal fan that wants Kroenke in. I honestly don't believe. If there's any Kroenke in fans, I want you guys to come in on the chat and tell us why. Because I don't like, but I look at Arsenal man for man. I'm in a WhatsApp group. It's full of Liverpool fans, which is really annoying. But I'm in this WhatsApp group, and I can't dig out your mum because like mum's lead. Mum's lead, 100%. My mum's a Chelsea fan. It's hard work, you know. But like, I look at Arsenal man for man, as in player wise and player ability, and I still stand by the fact that I think we've got a bloody good team. We've got a good team. We're not world class. There's not many world class teams. So you can even look at world class teams, and they still need help. They still need players in certain areas. You know, we can look at Man City and be like, whoa, Man City, they've got embarrassment of riches. But they still need players. They still need a left back. They still need a striker. You look at Chelsea. They need assistance. You know, Barcelona, they're world class. They need assistance. Bayern Munich about to win the league again. They still need players in certain places. So it's not a case of, you know, this, that, and the other. I look at Arsenal and look at the style of play. And the first show I came on with you, we were talking about captaincy and leadership, weren't we? And we were also talking about how Arsenal love to play on their heels. Mm-hmm. Granit Xhaka gets dug out every single game for passing sideways and backwards. Mm-hmm. Was Granit Xhaka in the starting lineup today?
Nope.
Did he start the game?
Nope.
No. Were there 10 outfield players passing sideways and backwards? Yes. So that's not Granit Xhaka's fault. He's being made a scapegoat. And today I also put a tweet out earlier about Thomas Partey. And I was worried for the amount of crap that he's going to be getting tonight. He was made a scapegoat tonight by Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
You can't play.
He was coming out to dry tonight, he was.
You can't play a 4-1-4-1 with 5 attacking players, like super attacking players, and then just have Thomas Partey trying to, you know, sweep up in behind. He had no assistance there whatsoever. And I know what would have happened if we saw the team lineup beforehand and we saw Thomas Partey alongside El Neni. I know the amount of drama Arsenal, like we would have got dug for it.
Yeah.
He needed Mohamed El Neni alongside him.
Yeah,
he needed someone alongside him, someone who's able to, you know, be a metronome alongside him. And you could go back and have a look at any world-class team, and even if they have started with one defensive midfielder, they still have someone nearby, whether it be a box-to-boxer or a CDM or whatever. You know, like even if
Gav,
I'm not trying to answer,
even on top of just say with that single holding midfielder, they keep 65 to 70% of the ball, so you can get away with it. We don't.
Well, that's the thing. Every time we lost the ball, who's the only person there to try and win it back? Party. He couldn't even square it. There was no one there. I mean, like, even if you look back the last like 10 years ago into the period when Barcelona were doing major bits, this is not me likening Arsenal to Barcelona, just so you're aware. However, Sergio Busquets was the defensive midfielder guy. Who was alongside him? Xavi. Xavi ain't going to be dancing around on the 6-yard box waiting for a ball. He's going to be alongside. Sergio Busquets, looking to involve an Iniesta and the front three. That's what you do. You can't just have a back four, a defensive midfielder who's literally sat on the heels of Pablo Mari and Rob Holding, and then that massive gap. It was so evident in the second half when we tried to play. I'll say. There was like 3 yellow shirts in the middle of the pitch. There was not a red shirt in sight apart from on the touchlines. That isn't going to work. If anything, with that lineup that we put out today, you turn around to Odegaard or Emil Smith-Rowe and say, look, you're going to do a role. It might be new to you. It might be alien, but you are going to be very close by. Most of the teams that play like a 4-3-3, they have a defensive midfielder, a box-to-boxer, and a man in behind. We didn't do that either. We had a back four, a defensive midfielder, wide men, and someone just off the striker. There was nothing in the midfield that tried to entice some form of play to involve other players in. None whatsoever. That is a tactical error, not a personnel error. And this has happened all season. And anytime Arsenal played well, it's papered over the cracks of what's going on. We all end up getting excited. Oh, yeah, the Newcastle game in the weekend. We were like, oh, yeah, it was brilliant. We did this, we did that. But there were still errors. There were still issues. That wasn't a true dominance, And when you are a goal behind, yes, I understand the pragmatism that was placed in the first place in regards to being a goal down. We don't want to ship an early goal. But I'll tell you what, if Arsenal had gone out there and put it on them in the early stages and shipped a goal, it wouldn't have been an issue because we still would have been able to dominate play, dominate possession, get the ball spread around, stop playing on your heels, which is what Arsenal do. We stand there, we're waiting for a ball to come through. We're waiting there. The ball gets passed to us. There's someone there to intercept it. Then we've got to come off our heels, onto our toes. We're 2-3 seconds behind play already. It happens all the time. It's been happening for about 3 or 4 years. It happened under Emery, to be honest. It happened in the latter years of Wenger. So it's not a new thing, but it needs someone new, someone with bright ideas as well as experience to come in and do a job. Arsenal should not be losing to a team like Villarreal. And this is no disrespect to Villarreal. Fair play to them for getting to the final. Really, honestly, hats off to them. But this is Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, definitely. Dave, for me, do you know what? This, I think, comes down to, it feels like it's an accumulation of years of stagnation. And I just feel like this has been an accident waiting to happen for the longest time. If you even go back as far as Wenger, you could see it got to a point where Wenger was getting top 4 every season, but he was just about getting it. Sometimes on the final day of the season, we were pipping Spurs to it. It feels like this has been on the cards for a while. Now, Wenger moved on and we saw what happened. The little bit of sustainability we had, it was a difficult job. And again, we didn't quite appreciate the job I think Wenger did at the time. But this shouldn't really come as a shock to us, really. So, yeah, what's your feelings? Like, should we really be that surprised that for the first time in 25 years, next season, we're not going to have European football, or maybe we did well to even get as far as we did, because this probably should have happened 2-3 seasons ago.
Yeah, look, I suppose it's one of those things where you can almost see it coming, but you're just praying that it doesn't happen, and then look, that's what's after happening now, and we just have to regroup and go again, I suppose, with it. Like, what do you do midweek when we're so used to European football? We're only going to get to see Arsenal each weekend now as well. Like, what do you do with your time in the midweek now? We'll have to take up something else. But no, look, we just didn't do enough. I put out a tweet just that coming up to half time as well. You can't afford to give away a half in a European semi-final and expect to go through. That being said, we gave up 90 minutes last week, and then we gave up a half tonight, and then look, we tried to show a little bit, but still it wasn't nearly enough to get the job done. Yeah, look, I'm just disappointed and gutted, and then I was always kind of Arteta's biggest fan, and I wanted him to succeed more, I suppose, than any other manager. I was hoping I would get it right, but I don't know. You can't really defend him anymore. We need to go back, and we have to get some form of stability back into the club again. Look, there is the issues with the owner and stuff like that. That will have to take care of itself. But we've an issue now as well with a manager as well. Like, it's probably looked the wrong time that he came in. There was too much going on, and it's all kind of came to the fore tonight. Look, as in regards to the team selection, midfield, as Gav said, he couldn't really win. If we played in any with party, he would have been killed, and then because of what he done now, look, it's turned out that it's got it wrong as well. I feel for Smith Rowe a little bit as well, because he was playing false 9 last week, and then he was kind of asked to try and play deep alongside Partey tonight as well. That's too much for a youngster as well. And Odegaard really didn't do anything as well to link that play when it went from Smith Rowe. But Freddie Ljungberg said it in the analysis after the match as well, that you can't expect these youngsters to carry the club for the full season, that they should be playing 2 or 3 games like Foden does with City, then he'll sit out for a game or 2, then he'll come back in. That's what we should be doing with Saka and Smith Rowe, and even Martinelli to an extent as well, so there is that side of it as well. Look, I was kind of looking around the field at one stage, and I was kind of thinking, where is the goal going to come from? Like, player-wise, we were kind of looking around, going, look, maybe Saka might come up with something again, but like he got to a point where we're looking for Saka to do something every single game.
That kid's going to suffer burnout.
Absolutely, and then we're going to be going, oh, he's fell off completely. Why is he gone so
19.
bad?
I fear.
He must. How has he a back, lads?
Yeah,
because he's carrying that team all season.
A Jack Wilshere effect with Bukayo Saka. I really do.
But just as well, and is with regards to what was I going to say? God, no, it's gone out of my head. Go on.
Sorry. No, I was just saying, Bukayo Saka, I'm looking at the amount he's playing and how heavily reliant we are, and it reminds me of Jack Wilshere, his early days. I think his first season, we got about 40, 50 games out of him. And then after that, you've seen the amount of injuries he had. The career was plagued. And this is my fear for Saka, 1 or 2 bad injuries. But Ryan, looking at the lineup, I don't think many people would have had too many complaints, and it looked like a team. I looked at it and I said, it feels like he's going for it here tonight. I think he's enough talent on the pitch to go for it. I think he's enough attacking threat. Were you as shocked as I was to see how conservative we were in that first half, given the amount of attacking talent on that pitch?
No,
we did it all season.
Exactly. Tell him again, Ryan. I can't hear you in the back. Shout it.
Bro, this is why I've been on his case for so many months, and someone put it in the chat. I do feel for the manager, but he shouldn't have got this job This is the thing. It's not a personal thing against Arteta. This is why I kind of just say, forget Arteta. He shouldn't be here anyways. It's the owners. But going back to your question, man, he had to play them. I mean, I was a little bit annoyed because when Luiz got injured against Newcastle, I actually thought we needed that because I'm not David Luiz's biggest fan, but what he can do in terms of playing balls from the defense up the pitch, it helps. You know, as much as some people don't want to admit that, it helps. But all those pictures this week, just it really didn't help. You know what I mean? And then Xhaka getting injured in the warm up. You know, and even my friend said he kind of helped that as a blessing in disguise. I mean, it wasn't.
Not at all.
Do you know what? In the flip side, it wasn't, because it's messed up. Because, like you said earlier, guys, Partey was left for dead in that midfield.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. When Xhaka and Partey are together, it's not that bad. It's not that
The
bad.
issue is,
One of
though,
them
if
has a
Xhaka was
better
going to
game than
start
the other.
that game, if Xhaka started that game, it was for
He
Tierney.
probably would have been defense. Oh yeah,
It would have
Oh,
been.
yeah.
It would have been playing left
That's my
back. But like
concern as
the amount of crap he's received and stuff, he's still a leader. He is a forward. He is a forward person mentally for Arsenal Football Club. When he's on the pitch, there is a level of comfort for the rest of the Arsenal players because he helps guide them. He will speak to the players. He will move. He will ask people to go in certain places. He will direct. He will do whatever. And the issue for Xhaka when we do play him at left back, which I actually think he's competent at left back, I'd rather play him at left back than Cedric Suarez, because when Cedric Suarez, being a right footer at left back for Arsenal Football Club, doesn't work for everybody, but for Arsenal Football Club, excuse me, as soon as he receives the ball, he turns around and knocks it back.
Yeah,
you know, it was his drama which got us. It's his mistake that got us into drama in the Slavia Prague game. You know what I mean? But like when Granit Xhaka plays left back, we need a rigid back four. The issue is on the right hand side, we'll have Bellerin or whoever playing right back, and he's ready to bomb forwards and get involved in play. So then it creates an imbalance. But Granit Xhaka is able enough to be a manager on the pitch, so to speak, and get involved with those decisions to be like, right, okay, this, that, and the other. And I think there would have been times in the game today, if Granit Xhaka was playing left back, just wherever he's playing left back, I should say, if Granit Xhaka was playing in the game, there would be certain decisions that would be able to influence the way we played on the pitch more. I personally believe that.
I'm not sure.
I think when it first happened, though, I don't think anyone would have been overly disappointed at the time to see Kieran Tierney come in for Granit Xhaka. I think it's only as the game played out we realised how important it could have been.
We were all buzzing. Every single Arsenal fan was buzzing the fact that Kieran Tierney was starting that game. Yeah. But after 15 minutes, we could see that he was off the pace.
Yeah.
You can tell he was
literally after 15 minutes. He wasn't quite ready to be at the pace of an Arsenal game.
I'll be honest, my initial thought was, is this a tactical move from Arteta? Because Granit Xhaka never gets injured. And then all of a sudden, biggest game of the season, suddenly Granit Xhaka's injured and Kieran Tierney comes in, and that's a whole new dimension on the left-hand side. I actually thought it was mind games and tactics. But as it played out, yeah, I don't think so. I know Arteta does surprises and catches out, but obviously not this time. Sorry, Ryan, you were saying?
We could have, you know what, if, this is the thing, playing Tierney could have been a risk as well, because we could have aggravated his injury as well. When he played, you could tell, like you said, he's off the pace. He was unfit. He looked burnt out already. You know, by the time the second half, he looked completely burnt out. And I actually thought maybe he'd drop Saka left back for the remainder of the game. And I know a lot of people don't really like that.
I love it. I'm with
Martinelli
you.
With Pepe. I mean,
He's got beef with Martinelli.
Sure, I don't know what. Maybe Martinelli.
He's got beef. He's got beef with Martinelli. Martinelli's been fit for the best part of 6 months. He ain't played him. There's got problems there. He needs to go.
Yeah, and I felt at first, this might be crazy. I actually thought he was protecting him a little bit, and I can tell you why. At first, I thought that. Because the times when Martinelli has come back this season, he has gotten dangerous tackles. It's been a little bit touch and go. And then there was that time, I can't remember what game, was it Newcastle or Palace at home? And he got injured during the warm-up. And I was just thinking, we kind of need to wrap him up and cut a wall. We don't want him to be injury prone, because we could tell Martinelli's definitely one for the picture. And then after a while, you just think to yourself, something's not right here, man. It's been about 3 weeks up to a month. It's like, give the guy a chance, you know. And then, you know, someone said to me, "Oh, maybe he's doing what Pep done with Foden," and I'm like, yeah, but still, there's times where he needs to come on. If that's the case, why is Balogun not getting a chance as well? And that's another situation.
And with that as well, Ryan, is Saka and Smith Rowe, they play every game. So, like, if he's doing it with Martinelli, he'd be doing it with those two. So, I wouldn't buy into that either.
And
I said that earlier on today
whole...
to a Spuds fan, actually, because he's one of those good ones, you know, that is a football fan first, you know. So to be honest, he actually turned around to me and said, you know, he was very honest. He goes, "I really want Arsenal to get to the final, you know, because I want the English quota in the final, whatever, but I want you to get bummed by United." I was like, fair enough. I appreciate your honesty, mate. I really do. But even he was like, maybe he said about the protection. It might be the protection. He's trying to protect him. I was like, what's he trying to protect him from? He was like, because he's young and that. I was like, so why is Smith Rowe and Saka getting game time every week?
Yeah.
There's a drama there. He's got beef with him, 100%.
Yeah, he doesn't trust. He clearly doesn't trust whatever job he wants him to do. He doesn't feel that he's up to doing it. And I said this. I was on a panel the other night, and I kind of noticed this with the wing players. Whatever he's expecting of his wingers, because he's had this issue with Reece Nelson. Like, it's not just Martinelli. I don't feel he's picking on Martinelli, because Reece Nelson is gone completely, and he was in contention at the start. You know, he seemed as though he had a bit of trust in him, but you've seen he's been phased out altogether. And for a long time, we saw with Pepe, it's taken a long time for Pepe to be able to adjust his game to a point where Arteta now trusts him. So I don't think he is singling out Martinelli. I think he's just, whatever way he wants his wingers to play, for some reason, Willian was the mould of what he wanted to do early in the season. For some reason, Willian set the standard. God knows why. But for some reason, Willian was the... you know, this is the way my wingers play.
But this is how he's got it tactically wrong again, because there was a period when Willian actually had a really good 5-6 games on the spin.
And then he disappeared.
And they dropped him. He dropped him. And I was against Tottenham. We dropped him against Tottenham. And it's like, hold on a minute. The way he's played over the last 5-6 games, he's the first name on the frigging team sheet.
But you know what?
Dropped him.
My cousin told me this as a Chelsea fan. My cousin told me this. He's a Chelsea fan. From the moment he heard Arsenal was signing him, he said, "I don't understand that." I said to him, the only thing that would make sense to me, as he's an experienced player, he will probably help Pepe, Martinelli, and Saka when it comes to being a winger. That is the only thing I thought at that specific time.
I thought he was going to come and play in behind.
My cousin also said to me,
how? I thought he was going to come and play in behind. I didn't think he was going to come and play out wide. So I thought we were sorted out wide.
That would have, to me, I didn't even think about playing from behind. I thought that makes no sense. Yes, he done that at Shakhtar, but for Chelsea, he's been predominantly on the wing. But with that being said, my cousin always said, he is inconsistent. It didn't make sense. We knew what we were getting. Every single time we shop at the Chelsea warehouse, it's a joke. At one point, we were bigger and better than Chelsea. Now, we're trying to catch up to them. We can't even, do you know what? We can't even touch them. Spurs are in front of us now. This is the problem. Been saying this for too damn long. We allow Chelsea with their money go past us. European trophies, they're past us. They're in a Champions League final. Tottenham were in a Champions League final. We're in a Europa League final with Chelsea. They didn't even need to win that. They are guaranteed Champions League football. This club is rotten. This is why, do you know what? I've gone past the manager. It's everything. Everything.
I think
we're going to keep getting, but hold on. We're going to keep, let me land quick. We're going to keep blaming managers coming in. We're gonna keep blaming them. There's players that are still here that need to be shipped off as well. All right. But the answer, the recruitment team has been absolutely scattered. They're all gone.
Yeah.
All we have to rely on is our manager / novice / BTEC coach to Edu. That is all we had to rely on. And they're out here on their knees like Oliver Twist. Please, can you give me more for some
But their
players and some money?
personnel isn't bad. The personnel's good. They're being
No, but we
told to
need
do
more
certain
though.
things. How many
This
times
team-
from like
The-
up until the
not
beginning of the
enough,
season,
though.
up until the midway point in the season, like how many times did you see
What, when we were
Arsenal
10th?
take? Yeah, but like before we went on that little run around Christmas time, how many times
Okay.
did you actually see, for argument's sake, Leno take a goal kick that went beyond 18 yards?
Yeah, all short passes. You know, that's another thing that frustrates me about Arteta. Like, at what point do you
Sorry
say to
about
yourself,
Leno.
these guys
Sorry.
cannot play this system? Like, how many times did we play it around the box today only to get cut out? Play the ball to Thomas Partey, who had, like we said earlier, he has nobody in there. Thomas lack of partner in there tonight. You know, he's there by himself. And he hadn't even got the legs. You know, he was asked to cover so much of the pitch. You could see how burnt out he was, especially by the second half.
That's
To the
not
point
his
where
fault.
the guy was trying to hold up the ball and he was nearly falling over with fatigue. You know, and you know, at
Isn't
what
With
that
three
point-
yellow
man?
shirts around him, Anthony.
exactly.
Three yellow
You know what?
shirts around him. If you have
Season-
playing two in the field and then two in that holder position, at least two versus three has an opportunity.
Yeah.
One
Yeah,
versus
100%.
three.
Look how
Yeah.
well we did against Man United at Old Trafford. They had a diamond around Partey and El Nene, and they still managed to sort that out. But yet, Partey's on his own.
Yeah.
And he could. And this is the thing with Partey. He's been unfit. The guy came in unfit. And he had to force his way into getting fit. And since then, it's been injury problems. I've seen half the fan base say, why the fuck did we buy this guy? But they're not using their heads thinking about the way Arteta has been setting him up. And the fact of the matter is, he needs someone next to him. If he's
Definitely.
not, and we need better than, in my opinion, we need better than Xhaka. That's my personal opinion. But
He had
I'm
Saul
not gonna
and
keep
Koke
blaming
next
Xhaka.
to him.
But
And now,
this is what I'm saying.
and
But
today,
there's no
he had,
one. There's no one next to him. There's no one.
well, today, he
mobile
had Jeremy
him
next to
either.
him and Coquelin
Yeah,
next to him.
Coquelin.
You know?
Yeah.
Well,
He had a lot of
Wow.
he had a lot of yellow shirts
Coquelin.
next to him.
look at Coquelin. Oh my god, we got rid
I
of
actually
him.
love Coquelin.
Actually, he ran off. He ran
Yeah,
off.
I like
Coquelin.
Coquelin as well.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
We used to play the
we could have
Francis
done with
Coquelin
Coquelin
drinking
today.
game. Me and my friends used to play the Francis Coquelin drinking game because like he used to get so involved
dear
in
God.
play all the time. So
Yeah.
every time he made a tackle or won the ball, or had a touch,
Slide
we used,
tackle.
we used to have to drink 2 fingers worth. That's what we should do. The Francis Coquelin drinking game. It was, or like it. That game used to get you mash up because people, Arsenal fans would be like, "What's Coquelin do? Do anything?" Well, I'll tell you what. When you play the Francis Coquelin drinking game, you realise how much he
Realise
does
what he
because
does.
you mash up by half time. Tell ya.
Well, look, lads, kind of, I guess going back to the game, Dave, we skipped forward the second half because the first half, like we said, there wasn't an awful lot of urgency for Arsenal. Second half, did you feel like a goal was coming? I know we were unlucky, couple of opportunities, but hand on heart, did you think we were going to nick it at any point in that game?
No, never. To be honest, that's in short. But we couldn't really ever sustain play, or we never really put them under pressure. They look comfortable throughout the 90 minutes. They're probably going off, thinking, "Geez, lads, that was all right. That wasn't actually that bad." They could nearly, like their defense. They've Raúl Albiol. He's been around the hill and back, or been over the hill and back rather, and he looked comfortable tonight. He didn't have anything to do. The keeper had no hands, and he kept a clean sheet at the Emirates. Like, we didn't test him nearly enough. Then I suppose going back to the thing is we could never really build up the play to do it right because you're playing the ball, we're out of the back, and then we miss Louise, I think, from a playing out back point of view as well, and he can kind of beat a press as well because his passing is good. So I know that was, I suppose, a loss as well, but they were pressing Partey, we'll say, with the yellow shirts around Partey, but they had like nearly a wall in front of where our attacking players were, so you couldn't really ever get the ball into them. When you did get the ball into them, it was long, and then by the time our players had it controlled, there was someone on him. Martinelli came on, he didn't really, like, they had doubled nearly and tripled up on Martinelli's when he came on, so the space for him was isolated, and Lacazette came on, Aubameyang hit the post, and then would you have took Aubameyang off in that situation? I don't know.
I was gonna ask
Yeah.
that question, Ryan. At that stage, look, I'm not saying Aubameyang was exactly lighting the game up, but he is that guy on the pitch for us. He can do nothing for 89 minutes, but he only needs that one moment to pop up and score. And like Dave said, he had literally just had an opportunity off the post, and then he taken him off. Like, I couldn't get my head around that. Like, what was going through his head with that? Why not pull someone else off and throw Lacazette up there with him?
I would have took Saka off because Saka was playing poor. Personally, that's the first thing I would have done. Aubameyang, we know Aubameyang is a game changer. I honestly don't understand why he didn't do that. I mean, if we have one shot on target, guys. One shot on target, and Aubameyang was unlucky. But do you know what? Do you know what made me laugh as well? Think about it. They were man marking Aubameyang all night, but yet we were failing to get the ball to him. So if anything, we man marked him out of the game too. It just said a lot. It says a lot. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I would have took Saka off because I felt Saka was just, like I just think Saka hasn't really been the same since. Was it Benfica? Since then, we took him off. Rested him at Leicester. Since then, he hasn't been the same. He scored that goal against Prague, but that's about it. Just but we expect that from our young players, isn't it? That will happen. So I would have taken him off. Lacazette would have brought him on, and then maybe gone two up top or just tried something different.
Oh, good plug there. Good plug. That's my old podcast, Turks Up. Like it. Carry on.
He's been watching.
It's just mad.
You're going to pay me for that, right? You're going to pay me for that.
No, I'm taking money off you.
Never, it's on here. No, but that, on a serious note, that's what I would have done. I just felt like he was just desperate. He just took him off, threw Lacazette on, but at the same time, should he have started that? My question: should he have started Lacazette? Because we know Lacazette plays better with the youngsters than Aubameyang.
Yeah.
Now that's my question to all three of you. What would you have done? Because to me, I'm kind of conflicted.
Well, Lacazette obviously wasn't fit enough to start the game. I would have moaned about playing Nketiah up front if I saw that lineup with Nketiah in it. Like having Nketiah in there, and I would. I would be kicking off. I'd be moaning why Martinelli isn't starting, and I'd also be moaning as to why El Neni is starting. But I just feel that if those two were playing, things would be slightly different. Because El Neni would have had assistance, would be able to offer the assistance to Thomas Partey. And Nketiah just runs. He just runs. And as you mentioned, Raul Albiol is super old. He makes me feel... Well, I got ID the other week anyway, so I feel super young, which is great.
Did I actually?
I don't know how old you are, Ryan. Yeah. How old are you, Ryan?
I'm almost 30. Let's just say that.
Well, I'm over that hill. So quite comfortably knocking around the middle of the park of that. So,
yeah, I'm almost there, mate. I'm almost there.
I got ID the other day. But just that youth injection and having like someone like Raul Albiol having to chase after Eddie Nketiah, that would have hurt him. That would have stretched out a lot of movement. That would have stretched a lot of the pitch to allow a Smith Rowe, to allow an Odegaard to get involved. I think the only person that wouldn't have gotten, regardless of whatever today, is Ceballos. But that's different. I've got a different agenda against him.
Yeah.
Now I have. But yeah, the lineup was poor. The build-up was poor. Everything was standstill. We went into that game 2-1 up on aggregate. That's how we went in. And a lot of our games, we start off badly. 5 minutes into the game, between 5 and 20 minutes, we look in control and knocking it around and maybe taking the odd risk with a risky pass, as if we are 3-0 up already.
But Gav,
We,
can I
we
read
have a
something else?
level of complacency with every game.
Can I just read something out here? This is what Arsenal at home this season, and Villarreal would have looked at this as well. 14 games, 1-0 to Leicester, 3-0 to Aston Villa, 2-1 to Wolves, 1-0 to Burnley, 1-0 to Man City,
Yeah,
1-0 to Olympiacos, 3-0 to Liverpool, 0-0 against Man United, 0-0 against Crystal Palace, 1-1 against Southampton, 1-1 against Slavia Prague, 1-1 against Fulham, lost 1-0 to Everton, 0-0 with Villarreal. 14 games, 0 wins.
We've
4
scored two.
goals.
We scored 2 goals at the Emirates in our last 6.
It's ridiculous.
Shocking.
This is Arsenal Football Club.
Ridiculous.
No matter how badly things are going, we know we have got our home form to
Yeah.
fall back on.
Yeah. Well, do you know
You
what?
know,
It used to be the away form that
Emirates.
used to kill us. We used to be
Yeah.
known
Yeah,
for
it
not being able
was.
to win away.
Yeah.
Now
Yeah.
we flipped it completely.
Yeah.
Completely flipped
Now,
it around.
it's like, who wants 3 points? What's that? You want 3 points? Hey, come to the Emirates. Come to the Emirates. That's what it's like right now. This is bad. But
Yeah.
this
I
has
grew up-
been something that's
I grew up
happened
with
over
a
the
team
last
that
year and a
didn't
half.
lose our away game all season.
Yeah.
saying this.
0102.
That double
Yeah.
team, I grew up watching that double team. No losses away from home. Home form was decent too. We won the double. Now, fast forward X amount of years, we're winning games away from home, and we were complaining because we weren't doing that. And our home record's absolutely shocking. Our home record turned into our away record for the last couple of years. Last season, we drew 13 games. I think we lost 8, right? I think it was that. If someone could double check me on that, on the losses. It was definitely 13 draws,
you're
right?
Yeah.
I think it was definitely 13. I think it was 8 losses. But what the fuck? It's just flipped. So was last season a projection of this is your future? Them draws are going to be losses. We still got to play Chelsea.
14 wins, 14 draws, 10 defeats in the end. So we messed around at the end of the season. We messed around at the end of the season, but that's a buy, innit? That's a buy.
No, I wouldn't even buy it. That's still bad.
I guess
That's still
if
bad.
we have to give if we give Villarreal some credit in their defence, along with Man United, I think they're the only team that haven't actually lost in the Europa League.
So fair play.
So it seems pretty fitting that the two sides that reached the final were the two unbeaten sides. And I've got to be completely honest, as defeatist as this sounds, and I know it's easy to say this now because we have crashed out and we're out of competition, but watching that and sitting there hoping and praying and wishing we were going to scrape a win, scrape a goal that would send us through to the final. When you sat there and I'm looking at the United score and it was like, I think at one point, was it 8-5 in aggregate? And I'm going, do you know what?
Yeah.
I think Arsenal have done us a favour because I, honest to God, I cannot see how we were going to beat United in that final.
But as well is before we sat on shows after the Benfica game. We sat on shows after the Olympiacos game saying if we were played anyone better, lads, we would have been gone. We did the same against Olympiacos. If we played anyone better, lads, we'd be gone. And then we got our comeuppance tonight. Another thing as well is that stuck out with me after the game is we scored 1 goal over 2 legs against Villarreal, and that was a penalty off of a dive. So we didn't actually even score from open play in 2 games.
Yeah, it was. It feels like, look, I know like that we didn't create anything tonight, but it just feels like over the course of 2 legs, we literally gave it to Villarreal because
we didn't score from open play.
Yeah, you can look at the first game, and of course you can. Yeah, we've been doing it, but if you look at the first leg, you can make the argument, right? We didn't play any striker, so that was a bit of a gimme. And then tonight, what did we do for 45 minutes? What did we do tonight? We played chess. You know, we did nothing.
Yeah, that was
like we didn't deserve it. We didn't deserve it.
No, we didn't. We didn't. But you know what? The whole Europa League campaign, and even in the group stages, there were some I think it was it Dundalk at home? I mean, most of them goals, a few of them were own goals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean,
no, it's like Dundalk, but it's Dundalk.
This whole campaign, that's how bad it is, guys. This whole European campaign has been horrible. Let's think
It's been a
about it.
horrible 2021 for me, man. Like 2020 was nice. Do you know what I mean? Arsenal won the FA Cup, won the Charity Shield. My boys won the Super Bowl, and this year we lost the Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs, and then like Arsenal are just doing things
Arsenal things.
but they're not Arsenal things. That's the worst thing about it. They're now becoming Arsenal things. This isn't Arsenal.
In fairness, they've been Arsenal things.
No,
for
this ain't
quite some
our
time.
They literally rip off the mask. It's like, it was you, like Scooby-Doo.
So,
You know what
Gav,
I mean?
what happens next, Gav? Where do we go from here with the manager as a club? What happens? What happens now?
Ask Ryan and Dave. Look, I've been very vocal about it on all my social media platforms that I don't. I even argued the case of when Emery was sacked, which at the time I wasn't overly happy, but I didn't feel that he.
We're losing the Gav attack, are we?
Is Gav gone? Is he? Right, Gav. If you can hear me, I'm going to restart you there. Yeah, Ryan, do you want to pick up on that there? While we get Gav back. Yeah, basically, look, where do we go from here in terms of the manager? Do you think he's going to keep his job, or are we on the lookout from this moment forward?
Listen, if it was up to me, the manager would have been gone after the Burnley game at home. Or even Villa. No, but actually up at Burnley. But that just tells you how it is. How many dreadful losses we've had this season. Dreadful performances. And I saw that interview too. Don't worry. I saw that too. I recorded the rest of Freddie Nunberg and for the website later. But the manager's got to go anyways. But I mean, what about the owners? I mean, we've been protesting out here. I mean, look, they ain't getting any money for European football. So what now? All this investment in the summer for PR, right? So the pressure has got to be on them. That's all I'm saying. The manager, they all got to go. But the question is, we all know Arteta is probably going to be the one to take the fall before the Cronkies. We know that. But my thing is, will they sack him?
Well, do you reckon now? Do you reckon now the Cronkies might, if they do intend on digging their heels in and not selling up anytime soon, because now, look, their asset is a lot less valuable, and maybe now they want to kind of go, okay, look, it's not a great time to sell because it's not worth what we thought we were going to get. Are they going to try to appease the fans, Dave, by putting Arteta on the chopping block and bringing someone else in for as a PR move?
I think they're probably going to have to go that way. And I suppose you can let Arteta finish out maybe the rest of the season and go again. But then you have to kind of look at it. Do you trust Arteta in the summer with the transfer funds? The only thing is there's a lot of good managers we've lost. We've lost down the line. There was Thomas Tuchel, but he's gone to Chelsea. Now Nagelsmann has gone to Bayern Munich. Jesse March has now gone to Leipzig. Marco Rose has gone to Mönchengladbach. Or Dortmund, sorry, from Gladbach to Dortmund. Yeah, so you've missed managers like that. So there's no one really in Spain that would stick out to me. In France, not really. Maybe you could say maybe Galtier over Lille, possibly. But
but we're asking for managers. Those pricks up the road as well. They're doing the same sort of thing. They're asking for managers to come into our clubs. They're actually doing something at the moment. There's talk of Conte going to Spurs. Why would he want to go to Spurs when he's just won the title and is about to play Champions League football? Why do we have some form of self-righteousness as Arsenal fans to believe that we deserve to have someone who is of that ilk at the moment? We should be looking at someone like Graham Potter now. No, but we're not allowed to be. We're not allowed to. We haven't been allowed to be where we are. So
we're snappers. We're snobs. We're snobs.
We should be looking at someone like Graham Potter. So we're
But we
looking at
shouldn't be
Arsenal here.
snobs.
All.
But we
That's
shouldn't
where
You
we
know
should
who
be
I
looking
want less?
now.
We don't
But that's not
deserve to be
because
snobs.
that's not
We
because
don't.
we're bad, but they are lesser than us. But we can't
Yeah.
be looking at managers that have just won league titles in major leagues or in the latter stages of European competitions because we ain't playing in Europe.
But this is the thing.
Exactly.
This is the thing with Arsenal, right? And Arsenal fans, and I guess the expectation versus reality. The reality is, right, Spurs are going to finish above us, and they're getting linked with Scott Parker, and yet we, as a fan base, think we're getting guys like Allegri. Like, how does that work?
Well,
But then, what I'm-
name me an Arsenal fan that was
Because we're
excited
too-
when there was talk of us getting Tuchel.
Yeah, but like, how
Because
are we getting these guys?
I champion Tuchel
You know what it is?
because I'm a massive Bundesliga fan and I watch
Yeah.
Bundesliga football religiously. I do a show on Bundesliga football every damn week. I did it for Two Up Top and then we're doing it for MAD Sports Network. I've been championing Thomas Tuchel for a very long time, and Arsenal fans are going, "Oh, we don't want Tuchel. What's he done? What's he done? What's he won though? What's he doing this?" Well, I'm not being funny. This guy has got Chelsea into a very respectable position, and it was also in the league, and he's also got to a Champions League final. He also got PSG
An FA Cup.
to a Champions League final. Excuse me,
Yeah, he's
PSG
back
to a
to back
Champions League
Champions
final.
League finals.
He's in two
For a
finals, yeah.
PSG side that have never been to a major European Cup final. So how can you turn around and say that is crap when he's got PSG who have been desperate? They've had managers galore. They had Ancelotti there for a hot minute, and he couldn't get them to a Champions League final, but he got them there, and they only lost 1-0 to a team that just pumped Barcelona 8-2. And you could argue that PSG were the better team on the day. So how can Arsenal fans, self-righteous Arsenal fans, truly say that Tuchel isn't good enough for Arsenal Football Club?
Stupidity.
Well,
But
do you know what?
Yeah.
Do you know what?
You know what it
the
is?
thing, the thing that surprised me the most about the Arsenal fan snobbery with managers,
Yeah.
you get linked with a guy, he's not good enough. It's like our most successful manager, Arsene Wenger, came from the Japanese league. Did anybody know who he was at the time?
No.
I know he
No.
managed Monaco and all that before, but did any of us know that? Look what he went on to do. It's the same problem we have with player recruitment. Because he plays in the Championship, he's not good enough for us. You know,
Sorry, and on
frustrates
go off.
me.
Me going to 96, man. Honestly, me and you always have beef, don't we? Right. So I've literally just caught an end of a couple of bits that you put there. Tuchel couldn't get us out of this mess.
we
Where
might have to bring him on.
Where were Chelsea Football Club when he took over? Where were Chelsea Football Club? They were in 9th place at that time. He has now turned them around and transformed them into what they are. And then about PSG spending hundreds of millions of pounds, one of the things that winds me up about football nowadays is that people that haven't got the money moan about it and think it's an unfair playing field and kick off about it. Oh, City are only doing good because they've got all this money, rah, rah, rah. Chelsea are only doing well because they've only got all this money, rah, rah, rah. Arsenal Football Club, we're sitting here going, well, we're not doing very good because they've got the money. And then it's like, well, we need to get rid of the owners, which I do believe we need to because the club is being run poorly. But a new owner will come in and we're going to expect them to come in and start spending the same sort of money as Chelsea are, as Man City are. Every single club wants their club to spend money. So it doesn't matter how much money someone else has got. Stop worrying about what the grass is like over the fence over there. Let's worry about what's going on this side of the garden. And then once we have got that stuff in mind, because once again, I'll flip back to what I said at the beginning of the show, man for man, I don't feel that we have got a bad side. I think we've got a bloody good side. But we're not doing the right things. It's because of management, not because of ownership. Same with Man United. Man United fans were out there screaming Glazers out in 2006. In 2007, in 2008 when they won the Premier League and the Champions League, in 2009 when they got to a Champions League final, in 2010 when they came second, in 2011 when they got to a Champions League final and won the league. So, sorry, no, they didn't win the league. Yes, they did win the league they didn't win the league in 2011. But the ownership is one entity. It's not. It's a completely different thing to what's happened on the pitch. On the pitch is bad. We're playing Thomas Partey by himself. We're relying on 2 teenagers pretty much all season. That is an Arsenal problem from a player perspective, that's got fuck all to do with the Kroenkes. Absolute fuck all.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, look, I think Tuchel has been an eye opener for a lot of people in terms of the balance. Look, I will put my hands up and I say, look, if you throw enough money at a project, I do believe you will eventually get the result. But I think Tuchel has proved, in comparison to Frank Lampard, you have to have the right man to throw the money at. Pep Guardiola's the same. I think Pep Guardiola even gets a lot of stick. You've all the money in the world. Obviously, you're going to win things, but look at Lampard and what he had at his disposal and what he did with it. Now look at Tuchel, who's a good manager, and he's come in and he's picked it up and he's made something of it. So yeah, you do still have to have the right man in charge to manage the spending. And this is my fear now. Let's say Daniel Ek buys the club in the morning and decides, right, there you go, Arteta, 250 million to spend. I don't know if I can trust them now with that money. I don't know if I
trust
can.
him with the money. I
don't
don't.
know if I can.
And and there's players that have come through, and those players that could have stayed longer at Arsenal, and things have changed since Wenger has left in terms of like player contracts and things like that. Wenger was like he was strict on it. He's like, we'll only ever offer you a 1-year deal after the age of 30. You can stay until you're 57 years old. You could be a Kazuyoshi Miura. You could be you could be a Nakamura. It don't matter. You can stay every year. We'll just offer you a new deal every 12 months. That's all it is. That's all it is. You've got guaranteed we're going to keep you if you keep performing, you keep doing your thing. That's what it is. So like when there are certain players that have left and have been lost by the Arsenal way, and it's a shame. We could blame people like Gazidis, who's helped get us into this awful, awkward position, like the Ramsey situation. Ramsey, if Gazidis weren't there, Ramsey would have stayed because Gazidis was messing around with the money there. Sanchez, he wanted to go on and win something. Van Persie wanted to go on and win something. He saw the ambition of where we wanted to go, what we wanted to do.
And Persie,
I've got no issue with that because if you've got to put yourself, in the player's position. Yeah. I want to go win a trophy. Like, I'm not being funny. We saw Harry Kane's interview a couple of weeks ago when he won the Pride of London, like the London Player of the Year award or whatever. He didn't say it. He waxed on for about 5 minutes, and at the beginning he was like, "Yeah, thanks for the award," but blah 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 blah. Harry Kane ain't gonna be hanging around at the end of this season. So because he wants to go on and win trophies, because at the end of the day, when your career's finished, it don't matter how much money you've won, you want to go and win things. And if you don't feel that way, then you are Benoit Asuakoto. You know what I mean? You are Uzi Man was I can't remember what club he was at. But it's like if you just care more about the money side of things, we even got Adebayor.
But look at Hulk and Oscar gone over to the Chinese.
They're built. But then, like you look at on the other side of that, it's like, well, maybe they're trying to build a future for their families and that sort of stuff to make sure they never go broke. But you're never going to go broke if you're a professional footballer in the top flight.
If you're in a good team that's winning trophies, you're not going to start. Put it that way.
Not in the last 15 years. Not in the last 15 years. Players that have had a consistent period in the Premier League that have gone broke in that time, unless they are massive gamblers
or
they have got like other issues
about a sticky divorce
away from the pitch, or a sticky divorce. 50% of your money's going. So you're telling me if you're on 70 grand a week,
the streets, bro.
If you're on 70,
the streets,
Boomer's on the street. What was he doing with his money though? He's partying it up everywhere.
Bro, his wife took it from him.
Divorce is worth 50%. If you're earning 50 grand a week, that's 25 grand a week. That is your money, fam. Your money. You get taxed on that. That's 15 grand a week. Buy a couple of houses.
Listen,
buy a whole street. Buy a whole street like Robbie Fowler. And then
you know what?
I mean. Buy a whole street and everything.
We need to move away from the Abue situation, because I'm just afraid that someone's going to watch this and they're going to start the rumor about Abue getting the Arsenal job. We're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be all over the papers, because you know how the media love to tune into this and they love to take our words on Twitter. They really do. But lads, before we finish up, I'm going to throw up look, that's our remaining fixtures there: West Brom, Chelsea, Palace, and Brighton.
Oh, God.
Look,
4
I'm going to
points.
throw it out there. Does anybody give the slightest fuck about any of those games now?
4 points coming from Arsenal. We'll beat West Brom at the weekend. It'll be 4-0, and everyone will be like, "Oh, Arsenal were fantastic! Oh, they were wonderful! They did this, they did that." We'll get punked by Chelsea. Palace will be a draw, and then we'll put the kids out against Brighton and lose that.
Do you think maybe Ryan is he gonna experiment in those last couple of games? Is this a chance we might get to see Martinelli, maybe Aziz, a couple of other guys, Balogun might get a show?
He had time to do that before. He didn't. What makes you think he'll do it now? Because there's nothing to lose and there's nothing to play for other than his job. Honestly,
We can still come into a European position. It can still end that
Have
way.
you got
but
the table?
That's
it'll be a conference.
providing Everton and Tottenham fuck up their games. What's the likelihood of that? Let's be real.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's done. Maybe we could get above Everton, maybe, but I mean, Leeds are not really that far off from us as well, you know, or Villa. So if we fuck up, and like I said, that Chelsea game we're due to lose.
Please.
So, I mean, if we could get,
No,
if we
Chelsea
could
are
get
going
the
to snap us
table,
up.
yeah, they will. It's just, I hate saying shit like that, but it's true.
So we've got a game in
Look
hand
at the
on
points
us,
now.
and they're a point behind us. We've
Right,
scored.
Villa-
We've scored we have scored in 34 games. We have scored 46 goals.
Yeah.
That is not Arsenal.
That's not Arsenal.
That's terrible.
That's not what I grew up
We've
watching.
conceded 37 goals.
And you know what? All season, Aubameyang has got flack for being off form. Is it down to the management? Is it down to the system he's playing? Is this why? Are we now seeing why Aubameyang has been off form?
And you know what? It's a combination of things. I think as naturally as you get older, you start to slow up. That's one.
Yeah.
Number two, look at the way the system's met. It's better for Lacazette and the youngsters. Aubameyang, when he's playing central, he's a little bit lost and confused. Because predominantly when he's played on that left last season, I felt he was just giving it his all. And we were all hoping and praying. And it probably got mentioned in the negotiations with the contracts that he's going to play down the middle. But obviously, there was a swerve. Plus, you know, unfortunately, his mother got ill as well. So that was playing on his mind too. I think there was a lot of combination with Aubameyang as well. And, you know, the whole captaincy thing, I know he says he loves being a captain, this, that, and the third. But personally, I think it put more pressure and damaged him a lot more. Personally, because if when Aubameyang weren't the captain, Aubameyang was doing his bit. He was doing his thing.
Doing his thing.
Let's be real. So, you know, I think it'll be hard to take the captaincy off him. Let's be real. It will be hard, but at the end of the day, I think that needs to relieve some pressure off him. And this is where, you know, we say we need leaders. We've been crying out for leaders for how long? Like leaders in. When I look at Manchester United, look at Manchester City, Chelsea, a little bit. I mean, Liverpool. They all have leaders in areas of the pitch. You know what I'm saying? We've been crying out for leaders since Henry left.
We've been saying this. I think we've been saying this since Patrick Vieira left.
Since Gilberto left, since Fabregas left.
Yep.
Fabregas was the last leader that we had at Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, we never really replaced.
That's 10 years.
But lads, I guess is this a scenario now, Dave? We have no European football next season.
Well, we might have European football. That's what I'm saying. Look, we don't want that European football.
Let's go off the basis of us not having European football because it's not very likely. So if we don't get it, suddenly does the Lacazette contract extension come to a halt because he decides one more move, I may have an opportunity to play some more European football. If I stay with Arsenal, that's probably out the window. Do you have maybe Aubameyang in the summer hands in a transfer request, looking for one last crack at European success?
Possibly,
Is this going to have? This might have a ripple effect all down through the squad. And with the owners not very forthcoming, putting the hand in the pocket, and if they are negotiating a sale, they're not going to be too pushed to invest while this goes through, because even if they decide they're going, it's going to take time to sell the club. So I can't see much investment. Are they going to sort of say, look, chance for us to recoup some money? Yeah, okay, we'll sell Daniel Ek, no problem. But before we go, we're getting a couple of quid out of Aubameyang, getting a couple of quid out of this guy and this guy and this guy, and then we're taking it and we're running.
Hopefully not, because that'd be worse for us. But look, yeah, you have the situation with Lacazette. There's talks of Leno from an interview recently. Is Leno going to be gone out the door to try and play European football back over in Germany? There's potential of that. You're out looking for a goalkeeper.
Stefan Ortega, get him in, 2 mil.
Just said it. Never should have sold Martinez. Said it from the start of the summer, last summer. Kept saying that. Look, you could back me up.
Yeah, you know what though? Like we were a hard sell with Europa League, so we're going to be a much harder sell with no European football if that's the case.
Hopefully we might be celebrating saying thank God Emery knocked us out, but. No, look, and I see Farhan had a message in there as well. We can't lose sight of what the bigger issue is. Look, we know the Crankies are the bigger issue, but we're looking kind of from the on-field thing. Look, that's a given with the Crankies, as we all know. But look, there's between now and the end of the season, there's nothing really to lose on this, and then you have to kind of go into the window. We're a harder sell to players as well as everything else now as well. We can't forget, but. I think I would be the manager's biggest fan, but I think that we need to go down another route. Now, there's two kind of fellas I'm kind of looking, and what I'd be in agreement with Gav. There is managers we'd like to get, but they're probably not going to come to us. The likes of Conte and them. I'd be kind of trying to think outside the box. Two that I'd look at. If we weren't even, because there's going to be snobbery to any manager in the Premier League that's underneath us. So they're kind of they're in a losing battle straight away. I wouldn't be against Atalanta's manager, Gasperini, and I wouldn't be.
I like that. I like the sound
I wouldn't.
of that. This is music.
And another one as well. I could get slated. I wouldn't be against Gerrard coming in. He went out, learned his trade with Rangers. He has been playing good football. Atalanta and Rangers score goals. He's learned his trade. Bring him in.
You can't turn your nose up at what Steven Gerrard has done.
So I'm gonna cause when my internet pissed around earlier on today. This is what I was saying. This is what I was saying, Ryan, earlier about living in a village. I don't know where you live, but I live in a village. I'll go out for a smoke. I'll go out for a smoke, and all I hear is. I'm like, oh, okay, here they are. The sheep are getting randy. But like when Emery was sacked, I honestly had no issue with the idea of Mourinho coming in until the end of the season that particular year, because we were shipping goals left, right, and centre. We know he's a defensive-minded manager. Mourinho's teams would win 4 or 5-0. So on paper, it's like, well, it's not that defensive, is he? But it's like, well, you're 1-0 up after 2 minutes, and then you bore the opposition into submission, and then on the 81st minute, you score your second, and then it's 5-0. You know what I mean? Like that's the sort of teams that's the sort of motions that he would play. Didn't want that to be a prolonged thing. It was a temporary measure until the end of that season, in the idea and the hope that we'd be able to pick up someone who was actually willing to try and take the team forward from a high level already. What upsets me is that for years, once again, across all my social media platforms, I was very vocal about the idea of Ancelotti coming in. When Ancelotti was available and Arteta was available, I was going, oh yeah, Arteta, ex-Arsenal. I'm thinking, yeah, he's also ex-Everton as well. So why don't you go there? Because Arsenal are a bigger club than Everton Football Club, and that is no disrespect to us. That is no disrespect to Everton. They're a respectable club. They deserve to be in the top table of historic conversation, but they are not Arsenal Football Club. So Arteta could have gone there, made his name, and then come to a club like Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I would have welcomed that, because at least we would have seen some management experience. And this is why I don't mind Chelsea having Frank Lampard there, because yes, he's a club legend, but at least he gained some experience when he was at Derby County, and he
Yeah.
got a mid-table Derby into a playoff final. So fair play to him. You know, he's earned those stripes. So with that, Dave, I kind of get the Gerrard thing. He's about to go a season unbeaten. I can't see them getting beaten now. They've dusted Celtic aside, and they've got some easier games. Tavernier's back fit. I didn't think we were going to see him until at least Christmas, if I'm honest. So you know, he's got them playing some good football, and everything's going in their way. I would like to have seen someone else, if I'm honest, but all the managers that have done those things are now on the move elsewhere. Gaffers like Rosa, gaffers like why is his name eluded me? The Frankfurt gaffer, who's now
Niko
gone
Kovac, is it?
to... No, he's ex Frankfurt. Frankfurt manager. Oh, what's he got? Oh, he's about to go to Adi Hooter. That's his name. I wouldn't mind seeing someone like him. It's too late now. Nagelsmann is on the cusp of glory. He is.
I don't think he was going to come to Arsenal, you know.
No, I didn't think he was.
No, he never would have came to us. No time.
He's a day older than me. But he's classed as a young manager, so therefore I'm a young man myself.
What would you have thought of Jesse
Marsh?
Jesse Marsh is a year or two off. Jesse Marsh needs to prove himself in the big league.
Yeah,
he does.
Do you reckon, lads, now the emphasis on the protests might go from Kroenke out to Kroenke and Arteta out now?
Yes.
But this is the problem. Now that's happened, it's going to get switched to Arteta. And then what's going to happen? Arteta's going to get sacked. And then the
Kroenkes will stay. Yeah.
I kind of see that being a little... Yeah.
Do you know what? This is the problem I had when it was Wenger out. Now, get me wrong. I wanted Wenger to leave. I wanted Wenger to leave years before it became a protest.
What year were you, if you don't mind me asking, Ryan? I was 2008.
What?
Wenger out, I was 2008, yeah.
8-2.
2008 as well.
No, 8-2.
2011.
8-2.
Yeah.
2011.
That's it. It was on the last straw for me. Then when I saw that, I was like, nah, you got to go. And the thing is, I wasn't actively watching Arsenal as much as I was compared to now.
That 8-2, though, that 8-2 was 9 shots on target.
What year was that? No,
four of those were set pieces.
Don't you sugarcoat
that. Don't even try to make that game sound competitive.
That's the day. That's the day that Francis Coquelin drinking game came out.
I watched that game on holiday. Yeah, I was in where was I? I was in Turkey. I was in Kusadasi, right? And I was one Arsenal fan with a group of Man United fans sat there watching that game. And so I was a little bit finger out that day.
I was lucky on that because the last time I was on holiday,
wasn't that the game that led us to signing Mikel Arteta?
Yeah.
But the last time I was on a holiday when Arsenal played against Man United, I was in Rhodes in Lindos, and we beat Man United 2-1 when remember when Nasri scored those two lovely, glorious strikes, and it was 42 degrees that day. It's a glorious day. I was 17 years old. I had a few. No, I weren't 17. 2000 Lindos. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was about 17, 18. I had a few brews, and it was a lovely day. Weather was nice. Had a wonderful time.
Well, I think on that note,
that's the perfect note.
Thoughts of a lovely day. I think that's the right note to end on. That look, lovely days. Hopefully, we'll be back again. Hopefully, someday. Lovely days.
Arsenal Football Club brought to you by Bill Withers. A lovely day, lovely day.
Oh, lads, look, fair play to you. This It's not the easiest. Look, it's not easy coming off the back of a defeat. We didn't even technically lose the game tonight, but obviously the circumstances being what they are, it's been tough. But no, big up to yourselves, and a big shout out as always to everybody for bearing with us and watching. And hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and remember, follow the guest as always. So look, to close it out, Ryan, do you want to give us a shout out there for yourself?
Thanks
I
for
should
having
point
me
out.
on. Well, I appreciate it, man. And pleasure as always. Crazy dude. Thanks again. Enjoy meeting you, bro. Well, bro, Dave, pleasure to link up again as always. Hey, I need a bit of that Corona too, man.
It's the only beer that I've got left in the house. It's so bloody
That's
frustrating.
fine,
I don't even
I'm-
like Corona.
I'm sure. Don't worry. Not even worry, but I just need something, right? But yeah, guys, want to check my YouTube channel out? Ryan Williams ASC, same as Twitter, same as Instagram. Come check me out. I'll put out my review tomorrow because, yeah, I'm not even. Do you know what? I'm not even mad because, like I said earlier in the show, I'm numb. I've been numb for a very long time, and I said this competition, I didn't see us winning it. So
Yeah.
you guys might think, oh no, I'm being real. Check all my other posts. Trust me, you can see my other videos. Same thing. Same thing.
Right, you're
But
part of that Facebook group. I've actually left that Facebook group now. But you
I've
were
left a
part of
few.
the Facebook group. It was like proper Arsenal or something like that. And there was just loads of drama and loads of people just like kicking off about crap. And but I'd already
Sounds like
subscribed
an
to your
Arsenal group.
channel. I don't do you know, I don't actually know how big your channel is anymore. I have got my notifications on though. So I do watch
massive.
your stuff. I need to like it more and comment more. I do need to do that to help you grow.
You do, and everybody that's watching,
I know that.
like and comment more as well.
But I do watch it. I'll be like literally
really?
sitting there, just be like, oh, okay, yeah, cool, rah rah. So yeah, no, you're putting out some good stuff because I remember the first time you had only just started. I think you must have had like literally 4 or 5 subs. You were fresh.
Jesus Christ.
I was going to say fresh something else, but we're online, so I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it because, but right, you know what I'm talking about, innit, family? Yeah, I mean, but like, yeah, you were super fresh. You were super fresh, and you just come live. And it was just you on the cam, and you were talking Arsenal, and I commented on my top page. And I
remember now. Yes.
You remember now. Yeah, that's cool, fam. Yeah,
now.
see,
Yes.
don't make out like I don't watch your things. You know, I watch your
I'm not
things.
saying that.
Yeah.
Ryan remembers now. Ryan is like, oh yeah, you're the first guy I ever had to block from the channel. Yeah.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? Like, what do I miss in your things recently? No, but you put out some good stuff, and like people, because I remember you put out a video. And you were so brutally honest. And I sat there and I watched it. It was only about a 15-minute long video. And I was like, yes. And some twat on that page was like, what's all this? Rah, 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 rah. And I was thinking, have you actually watched what he's had to say? And name me an Arsenal fan that doesn't feel what Ryan's feeling right now. I don't think you can. Good content that Ryan puts out. No, it's true though. It's true. He says it from his chest. He says it with his heart. No, but I'm an honest guy. You say it with your chest. You say it from your heart, and you went out there. You put it out there. Sometimes Arsenal fans, not just Arsenal fans, football fans in general that follow a club are too scared to be honest with themselves. That's what it is. And then when you are too honest with yourselves, sometimes you feel like there's a negativity level. Yo, Albie! Good, fam.
We were getting ready to wrap it up, but we could be here a while longer now.
Trust me, I've been on a couple channels tonight, man. It's been a long night, man. It's been a long night.
Yeah, Albert, what's up? What's on your mind?
Big up to the panel, man. It's not an easy one tonight, man. Trust me. Yeah,
real talk.
And I saw you earlier on Gesture channel, but yeah, man, this is my kind of thoughts really. Like I said to you, an embarrassment for me was Baku. Tonight was expected, and I'm not taking the piss. It was expected. That first half, tepid, insipid, lackluster. It was also we ain't one of the Emirates since we beat Tottenham.
Yeah.
Bad.
I mean,
Two goals at home in the last 6 games, Albert.
Yeah, Thomas Partey set up to fail. I mean, I mean,
Tweeted that.
yeah, I'm not even listening to Arteta. I will listen to it eventually. Arteta's press conference. I don't really think I'm going to pay too much attention to it. But you know what?
I'll be honest. I haven't actually listened to an Arteta
No, I
press
don't blame
conference
you,
in about 2 or 3 months because I don't believe what he's saying. I just feel like he's a media PR machine. You know, I believe he's just sent out there just to say what we want to hear.
Do you know what?
You're mute, Ryan.
You know what I find odd? You know what I find odd, mate? Like, I don't know if you guys agree, but with the Arteta thing, I've been pretty consistent with what I said about him. You know, he was very lucky towards the back end of last year. I said, you know what, if these runner results continue, I don't care if you're experienced or not, you should go. Your position's untenable. But they gave him the opportunity. But I've said to many people, look, it's not about being proved right or wrong. You know, Arsenal Football Club, you cannot reward a manager or a head coach, whatever way you want to put it. Yeah. We finished 8th for last season. We should have finished 10th. If the results went our way, we beat Watford and other teams lost.
Yeah, we beat Norwich. If you remember, just after lockdown, that was a lucky one.
And you can't write off 2 Premier League seasons and go, you know, we're just going to give this guy, you know, a couple of transfer windows. What business sense does that make? What kind of an organization is that? I come from a retail background working in management. I couldn't perform to that type of level. I'd be gone.
Bro, my history is sales, and I ran a recruitment business for a while. I feel that I work in internal recruitment to keep my ass safe.
Yeah.
I've been performing. Don't get me wrong. I've been performing.
Yeah.
But like at the end of the day, like if I work in recruitment and my job is to find people, and I can't find people, then my job's done, isn't it?
Yeah, and the thing is, you know, the thing is, I know people like, you know, I respect people's opinions. Believe me, like anybody can't call me out on that. But I've said to people that have been not even necessarily pro Arteta, but just kind of blindly stick by him, give him a chance.
Supporting, isn't it?
Yeah. The thing is, it's like they've got to this point tonight for us to be knocked out of Europe to go, oh, we should sack him now. But what would you see him for 2? What would you see him for 18 months for 2 years?
Yeah,
like I don't. The logic doesn't make any sense.
Albert, you were on the shows earlier on tonight, and I said it a couple of times already. It's like papering over cracks. Like, how many times have we seen Arsenal Football Club put out a decent performance, and then we go, "Oh yeah, we won. Yes, everything's cool, rah rah." But there's still issues. There's still drama. Like even like we go as early as, as most recent as the Newcastle game. It was relative control.
And they're a poor side.
They're a poor side.
Terrible.
I can only think in the last 5 years of 3. In fact, I can only think of 2 solid 90-minute performances from Arsenal. I can think of 3 or 4 games in the last 5 years where we have played well for 45 minutes or more. And I look back to the Arsenal versus Leicester 3-1 game. And Arsenal 2-0 versus Man United at home on New Year's Day a couple of years ago. There were 2 solid 90-minute performances from Arsenal Football Club. Any other decent performance that Arsenal Football Club have put in, I have looked at areas where there is still room for development, whether we've won, lost, drawn. We've played well for 55 minutes, for 70 minutes, for 62 minutes, and fluffed it. But those 2 performances alone, I could turn around and say that is 90 minutes of glorious Arsenal in the last 5 years, and that's bad.
You see that comment from Sam, right? This is what I'm saying. But the key thing I always say, and people are right, they come up with the P word, progression. We've only done the double over those 2 sides this season. And you can't, you know, I ain't got no coaching badges, but you can't just turn around and say give this guy give this guy the summer window or give him next season, because one, he won't last till Christmas. Two, you got the bigger problem is that, I mean, look at it. Look, what's Vinay, Arteta, as I said on another stream tonight, Vinay, Edu, and Arteta got in common? They're all inexperienced at Arsenal Football Club. That's insanity. That would never happen at Liverpool. And you know when I was,
that wouldn't even happen at Bristol Rovers.
You're right.
No offense to Bristol Rovers.
You know what? If there's any point where I've said this season where I was done with Arteta, you know what? You know when it was? When he come out and said about the Cronkies, if you got to know them, you'd be surprised. Arsene Wenger, as critical as I was of him, he would have never come out and said that.
Never.
When he said that, I was done.
Yeah, I was hoping, right, because he kind of, I think he sold us all this dream that he wasn't going to be a yes man when he came in. Yeah. And everybody said, you know what, we got a guy. It's like, we've got a guy who's going to stand up for himself, and he's gonna challenge this board, and he's going to tell them he needs investment. And what has he done? He's done anything but. He's been a lapdog.
When he said that, mate, I couldn't believe when he said that.
Maybe if you met them, you'd like them as well.
Yeah. It's one of them situations. Just don't say nothing.
Yeah. If they were loading your bank account every week, you'd like them too.
Bullshit.
Yeah.
Did Klopp turn and come out and say anything like literally jizzing off the owners? Did Ollie come out and say that? No. Did Ryan Mason? What?
No.
But did any of the other managers that were involved in this sort of stuff? Every time they were asked that question about it all, they would probably say like a passing comment in a nice way, but then focus their energy elsewhere. Arteta's being like, man, honestly, hit him up on Facebook, guys. You know, like follow him on TikTok. You know, make sure like they're all nicey. Yeah, I'm with you there, Albert, man. You can't.
Have any of you guys seen the press conference?
I've seen it, Albert. Yeah, I saw it.
Yeah. Dave, when he said about when Xhaka, the game plan went out the window.
Yeah,
I said, "Oh my god, this guy! I can't believe he said that."
He said, "Yeah, kind of the process that they had was broken." Basically.
Sorry, Dave. Why can't you guys believe it? Arteta's been doing this for the longest time.
No, but for him to say that, I listen.
Just to sum it up, Albert.
I don't. I'm sorry.
But
I don't.
He said players, look, he said players weren't fit. We had fellas suffering with issues. Then we had lost Xhaka, so it was the excuse. And then he was going, "Oh, we had enough chances, and we should have won the game. We should have won over the two legs." You're kind of thinking like, what?
He's saying that every time. Like we're sitting there, right? And how many of us can be wrong that we sit there and we're saying, you know what, there was no creativity, there was no chances on goal, that we didn't create any, and he's saying we were quite unlucky not to win, and we're going, what are you seeing? What are you seeing that we're not seeing?
Look at the passing in the second half. It was terrible. Terrible. All of them.
The first half, I couldn't even watch the game.
The first 5 minutes of the second half. It was that was it. They wouldn't do anything.
Exactly. That little 5 minutes there in the second half, you thought, okay, they're actually fucking pulled their trousers up for once. Then guess what? Back to passive mode, like on a mobile phone. I ain't got time for it.
Albert, I want to ask you.
Game of your season, and you fuck it up. Typical. They do this all the time.
The biggest game of the season, I
want to know what your thoughts, because I said it early on during our show tonight. That I think if we saw it on paper, we would have moaned about it. But in hindsight and a little bit of brain, do you feel that that Thomas Partey was left out to dry this eve and needed 100%. Someone alongside him?
100%. When you saw the team, you thought, all right, we've got all that attacking element. Obviously, we lost Xhaka in the warm-up. And I'm thinking, well, how's the midfield going to work? How's this going to work? Thomas Partey tonight, as a famous retail center I've always said, was set up to fail. Set up to fail. and he should not be made the scapegoat tonight. You can have a poor game, but he should not be made the scapegoat tonight. He was set up to fail.
What could he do? What could he do tonight?
And he got worse, Anthony. That's the thing, that he could, through tiredness and just Some
Yeah,
of the
he-
passes.
he was overrun, completely overrun in that midfield. Like I said earlier, it was at one stage he looked like he was struggling to hold himself up in a challenge.
Yeah.
You know, people were crowding around him, and
Mm-hmm.
he was nearly falling over just trying to play the ball.
Yeah.
He was knackered.
I mean,
we know he's
3
not
yellow
100%.
shirts around him. At one point, he had
Yeah.
4 yellow shirts around him.
I mean, with the
Like-
Aubameyang thing, sorry guys, like, I mean, you took off Aubameyang, right? And you put on Eddie at later the stage. I couldn't believe it what I was seeing. I know you got to get a goal, but
Yeah.
I would rather keep Aubameyang on, losing 4 kilos and having malaria, than to bring on Eddie and Nketiah.
You bring on Eddie and
Lacazette as
and
well.
off in the space of
He brought
2
on
minutes.
Lacazette too. That's how bad it was. He brought on Lacazette, and all Lacazette was doing was having fouls. Who did he take off for Eddie? Because
The issue was
Bellerin.
Lacazette came off
Bellerin.
for Oba.
He
Yeah.
took Bellerin
we
off.
did
Yeah.
we
What are you
did
doing?
what Everton did last season. Anytime that Everton were losing a game, and Everton would always set up a 4-2-3-1, and anytime they were losing, they would rip off everybody and play a 4-1-5.
Hmm.
And onto up top, we used to take the piss out of them constantly, to the point that we have a section on our show called "What Are Everton," and it's been going for the last 2.5, 3 years. What Are Everton section, because of what's been going on at that club. And Arteta did a "What Are Everton" to Arsenal Football Club. It's like they did a bit of like for like, wasn't working. Okay, let's rip off everyone and just throw everyone up front.
Yeah.
There's no structure. You can still move forwards with structure, and like, don't get me wrong. Was it who was it when it was the Olympiacos game when we brought El Neni on? I was the first person to say this is the wrong decision, and I'm not saying it because of his goal, but him being there made us more structured, which allowed us to move forwards, which allowed us to get the goals that we needed in that game. Not Olympiacos, Benfica, the Benfica game. So once again, if you just set up right in the first place, which could have happened in the first leg, don't play a false 9 with 3 strikers on the bench, then we might have been able to have a little bit of structure and move forwards. He's experimenting at the wrong time. You shouldn't be experimenting when your arse is on the line and your job is on the line, and the life of fans is on the line. We're all sat here. We're not the only Arsenal channel that is online right now, having a good old moan and having a good old bitch about what's going on. Albert's been all over the place.
We're the only one that matters, though.
We're the only one that matters. We know this, but of course you are. If I'm honest, you are the only Arsenal fan channel that I've actually been involved in as well.
I'm the only one that hasn't blocked you.
That's a bit under the belt.
I want to ask you guys a question, man. Like, I said it earlier on one of the streams. I can't remember what one I said it on, but I said it for time. Like, I think us as Arsenal fans, right? I'm not saying every Arsenal fan. RJ knows what I'm going to say now, probably, but I don't get some of the fan base. Like, I call us Sentiment FC with as a football club, because we put these players on the pedestal. We show adulation to these players, and I'm like, why? Why has it got to this season for you to realize that we need a new right back? I've been saying that for 3-4 years. I watched him closely tonight, and there was a lot. Don't get me wrong. Listen, a lot of the Arsenal players were poor, very poor. But I just watched him. I watched Bellerin offensively and defensively. I'm saying that there's surely got to be better out there. There has to be.
Man, come watch me on MAD Sports Network, because I just wax. We have a weekly show on the Bundesliga.
Yeah.
Me personally have been running a Bundesliga show for the last 2 years, even before lockdown, before everyone else got involved in this podcast game. Banter. But on the Bundesliga, there are 18 teams in the Bundesliga, and 15 of them have got decent right backs.
It's crazy.
And we'll probably be able to pick them up. We'll probably be able to pick up one of 10 of those for next to fuck all money.
Is this right back? The guy
that's just the Bundesliga. That's not even looking at Max Aaron's, which we've been talking about for God knows how long. Who's currently playing in the Championship.
Denzel Dumfries from Eindhoven.
Another league that we cover on MAD Sports Network. It's the Championship.
Emerson
Do you
Royal-
cover League of Ireland though?
Not yet. We weren't looking for a specialist, Dave.
Oh, me and Anthony sign us up.
Hey, I'm not even a
There you
specialist
go.
in Arsenal, let alone League of Ireland.
When can you start? When can you start? There are a number of leagues that have a number of players. There are also teams in the Premier League that are lower in
Exactly.
stature
Thank you,
to
Gav.
us
Thank you.
that have a right back who we'll probably be able to pick up on not a lot of money either.
Yeah.
One in particular, we would probably have to spend big money on, and he plays for the same club, which has a player who plays in an area which we need assistance in. And I feel that if we were to ask that club nicely, and maybe no bullshit, ask for their manager as well, then things could happen. And they are on the South Coast, and apparently it's a really fucking good night out.
Bryson LFC. Are we turning it into Bryson LFC?
Bryson,
What about,
fuck it. Let's do it.
what about Matty Cash? Matty Cash, Aston Villa.
Good shout.
Wow. Player.
Good shout. Good
player.
shout.
Not all, do you know what, right? He used to be a very attack-minded player, could play left wing and right wing. And in his last season at Forest, before he went to Villa, he had to fill in. He had to fill in for injuries, etc. So therefore, yes, Sam, I'm waiting for you to join me on that one as well, Sam Greenwood. Prick. I fucking love you, Sam, by the way. You're an absolute legend. Matty Cash filled in at right back for a season and a half, and now turned into one of the best right backs in the Premier League right now.
But Gav, you know what? Gav, sorry, mate. You know what it is, though, mate. It's just, I know the guy. I know Dave and Ryan and Anthony agree. Yeah. The snobbery amongst the snobbery amongst some of the Arsenal fan base is insane.
Massively.
Insane.
It's been living there for a long time. I said it earlier on. What did I say about Tuchel earlier on? To you boys, do you know what I mean? Before I'll be joined. I said it to Tuchel, right? I've been a champion of Tuchel for a long time. I've been watching Bundesliga football avidly since 2006, 2007. Yeah. Back in the day, it was on ITV when ITV4 first came around. Yeah, they used to put it on there, and I've been loving it ever since. And Tuchel, because people bang on about Klopp. Klopp got Mainz promoted. Congratulations. He also got Mainz relegated. Okay, people forget about that when they're trying to talk wax lyrical about Jurgen Klopp.
Yeah,
Thomas Tuchel got them promoted and got them into Europe, and got his job at Dortmund after that. You know, after coming through the ranks at Augsburg as a coach, right? And he did a lot of work for Augsburg. Augsburg wouldn't be a Bundesliga side now if it wasn't for the work and the graft that was getting put in by Thomas Tuchel before. Jurgen Klopp also almost got Dortmund relegated in the season before he went to Liverpool. Not many people do. I'm glad you guys remember.
Good point.
Klopp is doing major bits at Liverpool, and hats off to him. But there was talk of Klopp coming to Arsenal, and I still felt that Klopp was still a fantastic manager before he went to Liverpool, and I was excited by the idea. Arsenal fans, don't want your Klopp. Klopp. Man won a title with Dortmund. Man got them into Europe. Man got them into Champions League final. And they were getting their players ripped off left, right, and centre by clubs all over Europe, not just by Munich. So turn that agenda off as well. So, it's just ridiculous how, we've been linked with Basuma for a year and a bit.
And even with that, there's been negativity, believe it or not.
We got linked with Ben Chilwell. Yeah. And there was talk that we were going to sign him for £4 million. And you remember, that was quite a big thing. No, we were going to sign for £2 million, but Leicester wanted £4 million, and we weren't prepared to pay that money. He ends up having a couple of good seasons. He goes for £50 million. You know, there's so many decent players that Arsenal get linked with. Not necessarily that we sign them or not. It's different. I understand that. But then the fan base turn around and say X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And it's like, mate, we're trying to go buy players that are over abroad and doing this, that, and the other. Arsenal are a second-tier club because we are not on the same table as PSG, Man City, Liverpool, Juventus, Bayern Munich, Barcelona.
We're not in the Super
Real
League,
Madrid.
basically.
We're not part of that gang. But if a player leaves one of those teams to want to come to Arsenal, they are lowering themselves. If you want a player to come and improve your side and be better, you want to go pick up players that are excelling at their clubs who are in tier 3 and tier 4.
100%.
Van Dijk, Mane, Serge Gnabry, who was on our books for a while, and let's be real, we wanted him to progress because he was one of our own, if you want to call it that. But when he went out on loan, to West Brom, he was shit. And when he was at Werder Bremen at the beginning, he was pretty wank as well. So don't make out like we could have had this world-class player. He needed time to progress. But at Werder Bremen, go buy him back because he started to show progress. You know, Man City, they went out and bought who did they go out and buy? Aguero. Aguero was bloody good, but he was playing for a second-tier team at the time in Aguero.
Atletico.
He was Atletico, sorry. He was second tier. Premier League reject in Kevin De Bruyne was at Wolfsburg. You weren't doing major bits, but he looked pretty damn good. So he was looking to progress to the next level. Who else? Julian Lescott. He was at Everton. Second tier, maybe third tier if you want to argue that, but was excelling at his stage. Do you see what I mean? We need to be looking at teams that are below us in terms of stature, that have star players that want to progress. Remember we got linked with Emery Buendia last year? And everyone fucking cried about it. And there's me on Two Up Top Football with my pals. Even my Man United co-host was going, yes, needs to be done.
Yeah. But
because
where did this snobbery start with the Arsenal fan base? Because look, bring it back to, like I said earlier, Arsene Wenger. How many people heard of him when he got the job? A guy coming from the Japanese league. What was he famous for?
Think about the people he signed as well, Anne. Think about the people he signed as well.
But like, what was he famous for? Did anybody know who Gael Clichy was? Who Kolo Touré was? You know, who Lorraine? Did anybody know? There's so many players.
Ljungberg.
Come on.
Did anybody know who any of those players were?
Thierry was known. Thierry.
Yeah, he was known, but he weren't. You know.
Thierry, we got lucky with Thierry Henry because if he was playing wide right for Juve, we would never have got him. Juve signed him and played him wide left
back and everything.
And he looked shit. So we got him for a cut price at £10.5 million.
Yeah, but even on really, look, people knew there was talent there, but there were so many players. Like Kolo Touré was. Where did he find this guy from? You know what? Even Yaya Touré, he was close to signing for us.
Well, he played a trial game. It was shit, weren't he? Remember he played against was it not Brentford, Boreham Wood or whatever.
Boreham Wood.
And he missed a couple of sitters. He just looked like Ali Dia. He went to our feeder club, if you remember. He went to Beveren, didn't he?
Beveren, and then to Olympiacos.
And then to Barcelona.
He was alright. He was okay. But like, I mean, that's what we were famous for back in the day. We discovered these gems that we'd never heard of, and we loved that as a fan base. And you see them progress and all this. Like, you know, Cesc Fabregas from Barcelona. Do we know anything about him?
Not a dot.
So what's the deal? Like, what's the deal now with the Arsenal fan base that when we do get linked with these guys, Basuma's not good enough? You know,
I find that to me that's crackers. I don't understand.
It doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Like given our most
party,
like our most successful periods were built on squads of absolute unknowns. It's just crazy to me. It really is crazy. I just don't understand it at all. I really don't.
Our famous back four as well, Ant. I mean, Dixon, Steve Bold. Where did they come from?
Was it?
You know what I'm
Stoke. Winterburn came from Wimbledon. So,
exactly.
Yeah.
You know? David Stephen QPR. Like, come on, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
where's the snobbery coming from? Honestly, I don't know. Do you know what it
Snobbery,
is? Actually, I know where it is. I know what it is. I tell you where the snobbery is coming from, and this is what I think. They saw the money at Chelsea. They saw the growth at Chelsea, as
Yeah.
we all did, and we were like, wait a minute. I remember smacking up Chelsea in the FA Cup final a few years ago. Just going to Stamford Bridge and actually giving them games.
So,
And yeah,
sorry,
they get the money,
right.
they get the manager, and that's it. That's what I think personally.
Yeah. So, and you know that
To the
comment, so Andy, you see that comment said it, the last one. He said the Stonebridge doesn't. You know why it doesn't matter? Because it's the same section of Arsenal fans that are going to complain about. Oh, well, you know what? But look at Andy Robertson at Liverpool. But they bought him from a relegated club.
Yeah.
Wijnaldum, relegated club.
Yeah.
Like,
Even
come on,
Shaqiri.
man.
But
Yeah,
what,
it's
but
crazy.
what Liverpool have done there, they've picked up a player from a club that are
Who
a
was
tier
excelling.
below them that are
Yeah.
looking to progress and move forward. They are the best players in their club. And I remember Sam Klukas, Sam Klukas, he was knocking around. Alfie Mawson, you know, they ended up they didn't end up getting picked up by a bigger club. So they end up staying at their level and a little bit below. And now they can't get out of that rut.
Yeah.
I liken it to when I was a child and I had a bike and I used to ride it. It wasn't the biggest bike. It never had any gears or anything like that. It was like a kid's bike. And I wanted a bigger bike. And my mum was like, you're not going to get this bike. You can't get a bigger bike because you can't ride this one properly. And my cousin had a big bike, 15 gears, proper rally one, fucking sick bike. And I got on it and I rode it like an absolute G. She was like, the reason why you can't ride that little bike is because you need a bigger one. And that's exactly what's going on with Alfie. Like happens to Alfie Mawson and all them, man. Nice analogy. Nice little story into my background.
It was a good story, guys. I like it.
I think that's it's adequate time to end on that happy note on Gav's bicycle story.
Just a quick question, mate, before you lock up. So you see, I don't know if you mentioned any. I don't know if you mentioned anything about. I know there's obviously going to be planned protests, isn't it? Even before tonight, but I mean the 2 home games. I think it's going to be ramped up even more now.
Yeah.
If it can't off the back of this, I don't know when you're going to do it, but I'll be there Sunday definitely, and I'll be there for.
We were just kind of saying earlier, we have a feeling it's going to become Kroenke and Arteta out now, and we 100%. Sort of feel like the momentum might shift towards Arteta, and I just think this is going to be an opportunity for Kroenke, take the heat off himself, give the people what they want. Get the manager's head on a chopping block, and it'll buy him more time, you know. And we'll bring in a new, ambitious, experienced guy. And I'm just afraid it's going to buy Kroenke a little bit more time.
Nah, bruv. You're what you're saying is right, you know. Nah, listen, put that tweet out, man. I'll retweet the hell out of it. Don't let the Arteta thing easily distract you. Because he's a small part of it.
Don't fall for the bullshit.
I would like it if everyone went to these protests and didn't say anything about Arteta. To be honest,
100%.
But you know,
I would like that.
Yeah,
that's not me saying that Arteta deserves to stay and deserves to keep his job. So I don't believe that. If Arteta did the right thing, he would turn up tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. and hand his resignation in. That's if he was doing the right thing. He should have done it months ago, but this is but he had something going for him anyway. This is his saving grace. The European run was his saving grace.
What, 10th in the league?
No. The European run. The European run was a saving grace. It's out now. So now you do it. We're not Chelsea Football Club.
No, I'm being real. Look at Lampard.
Yeah,
he got the P. He got the P45. They gave him the Luton game, and he was off. 2 goals coming. Now they're in Champions League.
He won that Luton game as well. Remember when the Chelsea fans were all taking a mick out of him, making Mason Mount captain that day, and Mason Mount has been their best player all season, even under Tuchel. Funny
that is mad. Yeah, I mean, I'm not a Chelsea fan, but Mount's a good player, man. Like he did his thing. I
don't know why they hate.
Yeah. I don't get it.
No, look, I said this all along with Arteta. I kind of compared him earlier to Lampard, and so I said, look, Lampard put the wheels in motion for something at Chelsea. You know, the likes of Mason Mount and a few other bits and pieces. but he did his time. They got what they needed from him. Maybe we've got what we need. I'm not sure what it is we got from Arteta, but I think we've got what we needed.
Getting Partey and Gabriel, that's what we got.
Like
Other than that-
98% of Arsenal fans on
We've got
sertraline and fluoxetine. That's what he's got.
We've got a fully
Bloody
healed
hell.
Martinelli for next season. That's about it. Fully well rested Martinelli. No injuries.
Why,
anyway.
why was Gabriel not playing tonight?
Because
Pablo
Luis
Mari
can't
was
play.
playing.
Yeah, but
Because
apparently, lads,
Because
apparently,
two left footers can't play together. Apparently,
but Man City played 2 left footers together
In the
on
port-
Saturday.
That's Man
But,
City.
but it's
Thank
against
you.
the rules. But
Thank
it's
you,
against
it
the
is.
rules when it comes to Arsenal. But it is Man City
likes
can
to
play
copy-
the 2 left footers.
Dave, he likes to copy Pep because
Yeah,
that false
100%.
man crap. But yet he
Yeah.
don't copy the 2 left. Oh no, I'm too scared. I don't know. I have to have left and right. We've won league
For
titles
balance.
with 2 centre backs with right foots. Fuck
Yeah.
off, man. I am on that, man. Tell you.
that's an impressive Spanish
Right.
accent you did there, Ryan.
Oh, let me try this. Oh, you're gonna get me done, you know, man. You can't- Oh my God.
Oh, I love it.
Oh.
I think that was more English than the accent you've actually got.
I'm going on mute.
God.
I can't have
That
it.
was brilliant. That was brilliant.
Oh, God.
Roma
Oh,
won 3-2. That's what happened.
Yeah, Roma won.
We're here crying over a 0-0 draw.
Hertha Berlin won 3-0 against Freiburg to make things very interesting at the bottom of the Bundesliga. That's what happened tonight. That's what I've been speaking about for the last couple of hours, football with Brownie. So thanks for tuning in. You missed out.
Yeah, look at anything else to throw in there, or else we wrap up.
Cronky
Nah,
out.
I ain't gonna
Cronky
jump
out.
in, anyways.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah,
Let
lads,
that break the fan, mate. Ramp it
we
up.
call it quits. We call it quits at that. Well, we're nearly 2 hours in. Yeah, look, lads, if you want to give yourselves a shout out, Albert, I'll go to you. And Gav, I'm going to save you for last because I know you like me to go full screen, 1080p, 42-inch, all Gav Max. Albert, do you want to give yourself a shout out there?
No, I appreciate you letting me come on, man. Like, yeah, it's a late one, but no, always like coming to your channel, man. Keep doing your thing, man. You're doing amazing growth, man. Absolutely, you got our backing, mate. Trust me. So now Albert JTV, Twitter handle at AMO57. Don't think about people. Come and subscribe, people.
100%. And Ryan, I'm going to flip it back to you because we gave you a shout out about an hour into the show, so we give you another one. Go for it again, just for any new people. Go on, shout yourself out.
We're about to go
again,
home till Albert turned up. Psych.
He come with the beer. He said, "Fuck it, we got an extra 45. Let's go."
Yeah.
Shout out Albert though. Big up, bro.
Yeah, big up yourself,
Big up
Albert.
all the person.
The long night.
Trust me.
Long night.
Love it.
Hey,
All right,
we
Gav,
needed it. We needed it.
the floor is yours, Gav. Are you ready?
That's what I like to do. I like to get right in the camera. MAD Sports Network. Make sure you sign up to that. Don't matter what sport you're interested in. You follow this stuff. Premier League. In fact, we don't even cover Premier League. We do. My Premier League stuff is done via the football dugout. So if you want to look into more on the MLS, on the Championship, on the Bundesliga, on the football side of things, you come to us. If you want to chat about wrestling, MMA, boxing, darts, rugby in the new season, enough sport to go on at MAD Sports Network. So make sure you like, share, and subscribe to this channel here, MAD Sports Network. And if you didn't know already, if you put MAD Sports Network into Google, our name comes up first. Thank you very much.
Good shot.
Mic drop.
It's attached. It's not going to happen. It's attached.
Oh, God.
Could have called you CM Punk, yeah? Bloody hell.
Yeah.
But no, like literally, like yeah, we do. We have so we have a relative structure. So on a Monday at lunchtime, we do a show called In Case You Missed It. and I'll do loads of little edits and stuff. I'll try and make it funny and make it interesting. Even though we've already know what happened last week in football, please go back and watch this week's one. It's literally like a 15-minute show. It's funny. And then on a Tuesday we do the Championship. Wednesday we do the Bundesliga and the MLS. Thursday, every other Thursday, we do the Guard Pass MMA show. It's fucking awesome. Really fucking good. And then Friday, is the wrestling show.
Love it. And when is the San Marino League going to be covered?
That is every other Sunday at 9 p.m.
It's replacing all Arsenal content for next season.
It is, yeah. I'm doing it with Sam.
Yeah, we're definitely going to get
Sam couldn't come on tonight because he's doing the research for me. I was like, I can't do the research on the San Marino Premier League tonight because I'm on with Ant.
Oh, I love it. Oh, lads, look, I have to admit, as disappointed and pissed off as I was after, I thought, you know what, it's been a good laugh tonight. It actually has been a good laugh. So I think I needed that. I definitely did. So, you know, big shout out to yourselves, and much love and appreciation as always for showing support and coming on, and saying to everyone that watched and that's liking, sharing and subscribing. So
smash the likes, people. Smash the likes. Come on, but what are you waiting for? If quarter 1 in the morning, smash the likes.
I just want to ask a little question. If anyone who is watching this show has not subscribed to Republic of Arsenal, what the fuck have you been doing?
Good point.
Good point. It is a good point.
That's literally fair. But I may need to get a sound recording of that and just play that throughout the show.
Do it.
Like smash the likes. And why aren't you subscribed? What the fuck are you doing?
Why haven't you subscribed? You come here every time.
Give it a full screen and clip it.
We may have. Okay, there we go.
There you go.
If you're here watching Republic of Arsenal and you haven't subscribed, what the fuck are you doing?
That's beautiful.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
I'll do all your promo. I don't know. I don't even want any money for it. Just want to come over. I ain't buying a beer and I ain't paying for accommodation.
I'm gonna wake up tomorrow and the subscribers are gonna be like way down.
Exactly.
And I'll try and come out on your stuff and I'll be blocked.
Oh, I love it. Right, lads. I think we'll have to call it quits at that. I think we have to. But I don't know what to say. Usually I'm doing the outro and I'm going, look, we've got this game up next. And I kind of got to the stage it's like, you know what, we have got a game. I don't even know who we're playing next, if I'm being totally honest. I haven't been. West Brom, is it? Yeah.
Sunday, 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah.
Oh, the protest are the important part. Yeah. Fuck the game. Gives a shit, really. But get out and attend the protest. And I guess we'll finish with a hashtag Cronky out.
Yep. 100%.